do you do next? You're telling them, guys, it's all good. Pristini, you and Silly run guns out. Get these kills. Let's get this win. Let's take this search and destroy. We're done. We're out of here. We're moving on to the winner's bracket finals. You win in this series, you are guaranteed a spot in the final 3.
Wow. A guaranteed top 3 placing. Envy with one of the best sides of Uplink I have ever seen. One of the worst sides of Uplink, and then one of the best sides of Uplink.
That was honestly 2 of the best sides of Uplink we have ever seen.
First from United.
But it was from 2 different teams.
I love it. This is what it's all about. Amway Center, are you guys enjoying the Call of Duty you're seeing right now?
We got David Michner in the crowd. Big shout out to him and everyone at Infinity Ward for all of the effort they have put into Call of Duty esports this year. All of their efforts paying off in front of us live. It's time to go to a game number 4 in the best of 5. Envy, you win it here, you're moving forward. E-United's dropping down to the loser's bracket. E-United wins this, we're going to another epic game 5 of Search and Destroy.
The first hard point, it was all E-United as a 100-point club to Envy. Will the same happen here? Off the break, it's John with the snipers. Ooh, he hit Marcus Clayster. Doesn't matter, Pristini cut down.
John making the sniper work. However, on the other side, Clay's got a big boy toy of his own, and Clay is finding faces. 3 in a row. Looking for more. J-Cap, it's your turn.
The difference between 6th, top 6, and a top 3rd guaranteed is $25,000. Oh, Clayster just whiffs that last shot. Either way, United with a great start to this match.
And Clay, you know, you saw John get a pick, a little bit of momentum. Clay just punishes him with 3 straight kills. But now here's the real fight, Jack. Who is going to get control of this market? Who is going to lock in the lower street? Because, of course, we've talked about it over and over and over again. You come to retail, it's all about the Cathedral into the Broken Hill rotation.
Well, off the break of this first hill, you see E-United do come out with a lead. The rotation towards lower street coming into play. E-United will be the first ones there, but Envy have a great pinch developing. But after they shoot like that, it should be easy to break on through.
E-United, though, still has 2 players near this hard point. One of them on the stairs, the other one inside, and Silly is ready for the peek from Apathy. J-Cap a little bit late. Envy looks like they're throwing themselves at their opponent. Ooh. Just at the wrong times. They need to group up. They need to get on the same page. They need to hit together on their next attempt.
Oh, John going for that high wall run peek. Clayster wins the gunfight this time. E-United locked down the spawn still. Already the damage has been done. Even if E-United get killed out of this hard point, they're already set up for the new hill. But hey, you know what? They've still got bodies here. You might as well suck up the scrap time as well. Nice nade.
Pristini is just mopping up this lower street. Look at the lead, Jack. 51 points. Ooh. Already.
Yep.
And now you have players set up those red arrows locking it down. The challenger on the other side of the bend, it's going to be player number 5, Apathy, but he can't push Cathedral alone. He needs to wait and get some help from player 7, Sean. The push is coming up the stairs. Arcides again. Not 1, finds 2. Now a 3rd. Get number 4. Multi-kill again?
Oh.
Not going to happen, says Sean. They continue to fight, and it's going to be Silly now, overwhelmed by these blue arrows. 3 were down for E-United. Great break from Envy.
So smart from John, though. He plays his life retake opportunity. Thankfully for E-United, you have a man named Clayster, as well as Silly with the Envy.
I don't know how Envy just failed that. Silly bought so much time. Clayster with some big rotational kills. And Envy is in a serious hole. You just bailed yourself out once. I don't know if you can bail yourself out twice if you let United build up a 100-point lead in hardpoint.
Oof, 2 hard points in this series, 2 times where United have built up a 100-second lead early on. Pristini, that's a challenge I don't think you'll ever win, as they're trying to outmuscle Envy towards this lower street. You're going to need some sort of way to stop J-Cap in this power position, and, well, that's not going to be the answer you need right there.
All right, Captain Cap, I see you. He's still got that old school AR we saw back in Black Ops 2. J-Cap working He's making sure no one gets behind the flank. United, however, they are all stacking up at the top bridge. 2 of them went for the wall run, and now the kills are starting to land. Clayster and Silly getting the first 2 picks. It's going to be up to JCap and Apathy. Apathy, it's going to fall, or no! He finds 2, and JCap's going to find a 3rd. Great hold so far from Envy.
Listen, after what I just watched Envy do in that uplink, I don't care what the lead becomes for United. Hell, it could be 240 to 65, and I wouldn't be able to count out Envy.
Give 5 points to your opponent. You keep it off the scoreboard, and Envy, they've brought it back within 50 after an 80-point deficit in this game. Apathy, he's 100 points away from these Trinity Rockets. You got to stay alive. Focus on the kills. Don't even need to worry about touching that objective yet.
He's got to wait until he can get a call from his teammate. They're going to try to pre-fire the other side of the door. JCap gets 2 slided now. Apathy, go, go, go. There it is. Earns the Trinity. What was a 115-second lead is now down to just 60.
And that was JCap. Just a solo mission through the hotel. Picks up 3.
Not again.
John gets number 4.
Not again.
And Apathy is looking for the bombardment. United had total control for our first 3 hills. And now it's been all Envy in the last 2 minutes.
From a 115-second lead, now down to just 30. JCap has turned up on a 6 streak of his own. He's now double positive at 15-8, just 125 off of a streak of his own.
Apathy's play on the objective, of course, gives him the advantage to put him within 1 kill of a bombardment. There it is. Big gunfight going down, and Apathy is going to win it. Now keep your eyes on JCap. Is he going to get fully streaked out here? Calls out the pressure. They're on the flank. Those blue arrows rotating. Meanwhile, player number 7, John, on the minimap, he is on a flank of his own. No one can get close to this hill if Apathy keeps playing this way with JCap.
I mean, Envy has to be one of the most composed teams in Call of Duty history with this lineup. The fact that they can go down 10-0 with 4 minutes left in uplink and come back flawlessly and win, and then go down by 100 plus in hardpoint, and now bring it back to a potential winnable game between the clutch factor of JCap and Apathy. It's just nuts to watch. It's a pleasure.
Jack, on our blue team for Team Envious, it's nothing but a group of veterans, the returning champions from 2016. For E-United, it's the first time on the main stage at a Cod Champs for a number of these players, a first time even at Cod Champs for one. And it's time to crank up the headphones once again. Observer, please take our camera to the red team. E-United, can they force the game 5? We're all tied up.
Patio, bar, one bar. Two patio, both hurt bad.
I'm coming tunnel right now, guys.
And out from bedroom.
Let's go,
Jump on me, scaff, John, he's doing bike,
Let's
go together, let's go. Mark it. Take it weak.
Patio again.
He's low street, flasher. I got one, look out, one to the left of hill.
Nice, let's go. Getting a plat.
Stairs. I'm gonna die. One patio,
one till weak.
Everyone's calm down, let's go. Remember, we gotta get full rotate somebody. We'll rotate, let's go. We're gonna be waiting for it. Go.
He's in new,
You have smokes or no?
Done, it's big cap in new, I think. I'm coming up stream with you guys right now. They're gonna have Trinities, Scare's got car. Got him. I'm baiting.
Slasher weak at that car. Slid in the tank, lobby tank.
Nice, get out of here.
I spawned on the street.
He got me.
We're gonna be market spawn, guys.
Yo, he's in the back of the hill, Watch out,
John got me.
Air time, slow down, please.
Weak, I'm one shot.
I'm going in. One push up street.
In the corner, slid back to the tank, great tank.
Jacob's in right now. What's up, Jacob's in too. Kills, I spawned out.
Oh, two, they're both cornered. One went to the back door.
He one mid. John. They're
Big win, huge fucking win. It's a big 25.
He's
Huge
in the back of the hill.
Huge 25.
He's still there.
I'm nading over.
Nice,
One great tank on you.
Let's go.
Great tank.
Two more there. We're down with 4.
Alright, they're there.
Rotate, buddy. I'm in new. Yeah, spread out. Yo, one's low street, Slasher.
I'm not pushing out on this. Yo, they like to hit sidebar.
Can I kill me, Patty?
No one patio?
What's the gaff?
Yo, I'm dead. Never mind, I'm good.
Why not? What's low?
They're gonna use camo probably.
Flusher, low street.
Play tighter.
Play tighter.
I'm trying.
He's top tank. One shot, got him.
Alright, 2 low street and one's in bar. 2 low street, 1 in bar. I pull up at great. Nice, guys.
Top gaff.
I'm coming street. They're coming up.
One was in her, right? Bar? He's still scaff.
I have bar in her.
Partner?
I'm back here. I'm just holding.
I don't see anything bar
We're
in her.
using a camo. Gaff.
Yo, one underneath on me.
Bar. I'm playing my life.
I got one, another one back tank. What's up tank? Another one. Fire. It's against fire. Nice one, deep street. 2v2. 1v1.
Gonna be fire front.
I don't see a fire in front.
I'm here with you.
Put on the fucking street class if you have it, yo, because they might have another street.
Fire,
in the back.
Watch out. I'm in bed.
Here we go, Jack. It is just a 10-point game. Envy is 23 away from sealing the deal. On the other side, E United needs 33 to send us to a game 5. How is this one going to end?
No, I have no idea. Right now, if Envy keeps shooting the way that they are, you expect them to close it out. Silly trying to challenge 2 players. JCap just staying alive. You can sit in this corner right by this door and get time for your team. It's up to the other squad to pre-fire it and force you out of that position. 13-second game, Envious within striking distance of moving into our top 3.
Apathy so close of getting that reactive armor as well. On the other side for E United, you have no payloads to speak of. But it's E United who scores. Apathy trying to pre-fire is going to be cut down. Pristini with a massive play there. The win now is going to give E United the advantage. We have 15 points to go. We're guaranteed one more hill. And Envy is not done challenging yet. There's a player on plat, though. They got to chase him down. John's going to find Clayster. And with the last 5 seconds, we're going to be tied up once again. 2:37, 2:35 as we come back to the bridge.
JCap holding with the NB4. A 4-second game now. E United trying to hold on to this victory. Pristini's got his help. It's a 1v2 per Pristini. Neither team in the hard point. He throws out the tactical. Bye-bye Apathy. The challenge on the second. Can't get it done. Tie game, 239-239.
Envy is there scoring. Arcides needs help. He's got to get into this hill, and Envy has jumped out. 240, 241.
He's gonna drop it.
Could not be any closer. Centurion is down for JCap. He's got a little bit of cover from Slasher on his right. All 4 players from Envy met by the 4 from E United. It's Apathy against Silly. Envy is scoring. The contest is here once again.
This is
Apathy's going to find Pristini. John will find Clayster. And that is your game. Envy's going to the winners semifinal. Winners final. Excuse me, Jack. Ridiculous finish here.
Envy get it done, and it doesn't get much closer than that. A 100-second lead in hardpoint is not enough for E United to force the game 5. That's a rough one to take. Envy showing their composure in back-to-back respawns. And Envious, after a top 24 placing at Anaheim, the worst placing ever in the historical Team Envious organization, they have now gotten second at the Stage 2 playoffs and have now gotten top 3 guaranteed at your Call of Duty World Championship here presented by PS4.
What a finish there for Team Envious. E United, so many incredible starts in this series. They steamroll game number 1. Game 2, though, Envy showing their composure, slowing things down in search and destroy. But then it's E United up again. Massive start to the up point. Envy battles back, steals that one, and they do it again here in a game number 4. I have a feeling, though, this is not the last time we see E United on this stage. These guys are not running out of the tournament, just way too much raw potential.
It's important to bring this up. While the shots right now, you think that this team just got eliminated, E United are still alive in this tournament. They'll have to go through the losers bracket. It's tough right now, as that was a rough game 3 and 4, but one thing to take note. We've seen this brother duo as well as Silly on this E United lineup get put in these tough scenarios before. You think back to when they won Atlanta, to when they fought to the grand final in Dallas, and they still caught the Call of Duty community by storm, making it all the way through, winning one of those events and getting a close second there at Dallas.
Right now, E United, they're guaranteed top 6. Envy, with that win, they are guaranteed top 3, and they will be playing on Championship Sunday. There is so much more Call of Duty to go, but I don't know how you top those last 2 series Jack and I just cast. Jack, we're going to take a break. We're sending it over to Benson in the desk, though, to break down this epic one.
Thank you very much, Chris. I love Champs.
Oh, man. It doesn't get better than this.
That was some of the greatest Call of Duty we have seen all year. And I just want to take a minute to appreciate what Team Envious has done, right? They world champs, reigning champs. They stick it out as a roster even through the hard times. They get to champs. And now they've guaranteed themselves top 3 once again.
I want to know what they did in that boot camp. That boot camp fixed everything for these guys. I don't know what changed, but they look back to full form.
It's
It's unreal. I mean, this is a team that was horrible at Anaheim. I mean, they're horrible.
The history.
Horrible. What the hell did they do down there? And we're sitting up here, right? And like the uplink happens, and we're like, yo, this is crazy. And the hard point starts, and then like they get down by like 100. I was like, there's no way. It's like game 5. Yeah. Let's. I was like, let me watch LG for a little bit. And I'm like, well, they're getting back, and then they get the streaks. This is it. I was like, what the hell happened?
I mean, John has been criticized for a huge part of his career for being a Treyarch player. You know, he's only good at Treyarch titles. This year, it's like, oh, where's John? Evolved.
He's broken.
Let me tell you, he's going back-to-back MVP with performances like that.
John won the MVP last year, and then he heard the announcement this year that 25 grand's on the line. He's like, oh, hold up. Let me get that again.
Again, that's slice of pie right
Sign
there.
me up to play with John. I don't care who makes it.
That was, I mean, we'll talk about map number 1. All right, I mean, this one, welcome to the 100-point club, Team Envy. It's all United did. Essentially, we just kind of frustrate Envy, it seems here. But Prestini goes, what, 7-1 to start? You have a 17-9, 18-7 Prestini Arstees duo. I mean, the Twins went off in map 1.
I just want to highlight how good United is at hardpoint overall. I think the matter of fact that both teams are able to score so many points in a row in these respawn game types, it's just beautiful to watch. It's simple as that. The fact that they're able to, these are top caliber players, top caliber teams with the most experience, the best results we've seen throughout the years, and the fact that they're able to put each other in these chokeholds on these maps, it's masterful gameplay. You can't get much better than this. They're chaining together rotations almost perfectly. I love it.
It's funny because at that point, me and T were kind of having a conversation. Who's your United MVP, Prestini or Silly?
Yeah.
Both of those two players going absolutely off. We'll talk a little bit now about the search and destroy. However, of course, this is where Envy start that little bit of a comeback, the bounce back. They do take it 6-4. And this is when you really just got to see John in full form. He's quick scoping in mid-air like it's easy.
But for me, though, this is where you saw a weakness in United's gameplay this weekend. I mean, we keep bringing up those leaderboards, and Silly is sitting so far at the top in S&D,
right?
And you kind of didn't see anyone else from United up there. So, like, he's playing so well in search. But I think Teepa, we were talking a little bit when the game was going on. It was like they need to get somebody else going.
Yeah. For me, that is the best I've seen John play since this time last year.
Yep.
That is the best. That could be the best John I've ever seen play. And last year he won MVP. Except map 1, he literally just, he blew up in map 2, map 3, and we're going to see some highlights of this uplink soon, I'm sure. And it's 2-piece, 2-piece, 3-piece, 2-piece. It was just phenomenal. I have honestly, Envy could do it. Envy can be back.
And how scary is that?
You feel the magic.
That is an actual conversation that we're having.
It's like when I cast that game earlier with Jack, I think it was the first game of the day, I was like, one team will have a game today, a series, where you get done and everybody just looks, it's like, they won.
That could be it.
You feel the magic.
This looked like a game like that.
I mean, you see this uplink, right? We go in and we see United start strong. United had what can only be described as a perfect half. It was perfect. Everything they did was perfect. The way they chose who got the points to make sure they had streaks. Yeah. They were in complete control, team.
Unfortunately, they let it get away. And I'll be the one to say it. As you get into the second half, I was one of these people. I was like, why are we doing a listening with Envy?
I was with you.
Well, we saw why. They were able to make that comeback. And the fact that both teams were able to do this on the, I guess, the least preferred side of the map, and just chain together these points over and over and over again. Streaks came into play. Both teams, when they were put in this spawn trap, they didn't know what to do. Do I wrap back as a team and get streaked out, or have to fight the player on point? Do I overextend a drone when the drone's already gone?
Yeah. Wow. You know what I think it is too? You know, we kind of take for granted like how good a United's been throughout the whole year. And you got to remember, like, Arceus and Prestini have never really been in a moment like this. Neither has Silly. And it's like you just hope that inexperience didn't come back and hurt you, haunt you at one moment.
And then on the flip side, you have the same 4 players who were here last year that won. I mean, they have the experience. Jacob, of course, a 2-time world champion. He's fighting for his 3rd ring. But just to, again, to talk a little bit about that uplink, you had that streak from App. You had that streak from John. They're the players that we say when they go off, they really will do damage. And there was one moment that stood out to me, and I'm sure you guys can probably agree to this, when United finally got out of the trap. I think it was about 10-6 was the scoreline. And then John somehow miraculously pops a 3-piece. It looks like United is going to get a 1-point play, and John just gets a 3-piece out of thin air.
And to Matt's point, I think that's where the inexperience might have come in. The fact that John was at Orange Tarp, the first, line of sight, the first choke point, and the fact that they all get caught with their pants down in that sort of sense. Were they too frantic? Were the comms not there? The fact that he gets a very, very easy 3-piece. I doubt anyone even shot at him. I wish we could get the POV from John in that situation, but man, to get shut down, John, what a game.
He finishes with a 1.67 in the winner's bracket semi-final against the United. A 1.67. Unreal performance from him. And then, of course, we go over to the hard point. And Matt, to your point earlier on, United start strong. We're thinking, all right, game 5, you blink, you look away. Next thing you know, Envy ties it up.
Their hard point is so good. Like, they have that exact timing down. And, it's not a surprise. I mean, we've dealt with Clay, in hard point. And, like, he just has a great internal clock, right? He's able to just time that moment where you need to rotate and you need to play for that other time so well. Like, they're never out of position. But you just got this sense, like, once Envy started to pick it up again, you don't know what's in the guys' heads on the stage, right? But I know that you lose a game really bad when a team comes back. The next game starts up, you get a big lead. You're always looking at that score. When their score starts to go up, and your score looks pretty similar to what it was about a minute ago, you start to panic a little bit.
It's a tough loss.
That's what happened, yeah.
The one thing I like as well is that very, very final moment of that hard point. We were sitting around 240 to 240, and no one really wanted to commit to that first push onto the bridge. And the way that Envy, I think, just set up, you looked at that mini-map, and they were so calculated. And I think this is where we talk about veterancy and experience and, who has that just kind of X factor almost. It just kind of clicked for them, and they waited, they were patient. It was the perfect timing, and I think they trade out a 3-for-1, and then that final kill for them seals the deal, and you see them just sweep up. And do you know what, this is a moment which I think a lot of people are going to remember. But John, my goodness, what a series.
1.4 through the series.
MVP John is back.
Should we give him the trophy now, or I mean,
unreal.
That was an explosive performance. You got to give App some love as well in that 4, a 1.85.
Yeah.
Both of those guys, you guys have been saying it all year long. That's what Envy needs. That's the Envy magic. When those 2 players play like that, there aren't many teams that can stop them. Well, guess what? They're in our winners bracket.
Cap as well.
Yeah, I don't know what Cap's doing.
Well.
Yeah, he somehow always finds himself.
Jet Cap, dude.
But even Black Ops 2, right? He goes to the finals there.
Yeah.
True.
It's just
best player of all time.
No, it's like you can't even really explain it by skill. It's like some players have it and like some players don't. Like it's just like you go into games like with him as a teammate and like you just know what he brings to the table. Like it's just something that like isn't gameplay wise. Like it's just like a cool. Like when we did the listening, like they're down like 10 and his voice is like cool, calm, like and like I remember at the beginning of that listening, E United gets a point and you hear JCap just go like in a monotone voice like, oh, it's all right. It's like half the other people would be freaking out, getting back to the middle, trying to make something happen. She's a cool customer, man.
Most people at that point are thinking about the next map, right?
Yeah.
When you're telling voice, that's for sure. But in terms of the big picture here, this is where it gets scary. Because now for United, they fall down into the losers bracket where guess who they have to face once again? Luminosity. And Luminosity has been on a big run. Obviously, United in winners bracket round 1, put LG in the losers bracket. Since then, LG has beaten Fnatic, Infused, Splice. Is he United next? I mean, coming off a loss like that, Teep, I mean, I know it didn't happen often in your career, but when it did, how do you come back? What would you do?
That's a tough loss overall. I think the guys just need to go back to the drawing board a little bit, calm themselves down, because they played extremely well in that series. Yes, you just lose a tough one, possibly the biggest one versus Envious right there. It was for a top 3, which is pretty heart-crushing.
Yeah.
You're thinking about everything. You're thinking about the fans that were, relying on you to make it to that winter final. But I think you're okay. You beat LG. Let's be logical about it. You beat LG once already. You made it look somewhat easy. You showed glimpses of perfect gameplay throughout that series. Just calm it down. Get your heads right. Just get ready for that match. Simple as that.
You know what LG's play reminds me of throughout this weekend? Remember back at AW Phase Red? They were average. They get knocked down to losers. That Saturday, they beat literally everybody.
Yeah, it's very
that
similar.
run you were listening like LG's played already. Sound pretty impressive to me.
Yeah, definitely does. Of course, for LG to get there, of course, they did go up against Splice. Phil, I know you were watching that game a little bit, and then you kind of gave up a little bit on your
I'm not going to lie, my chair kind of swiveled around. I was like, whoa, what's going on behind me? This is interesting, but no, for obviously European fans out there, I will say, you know, the hard point for these guys, LG got a really big lead. Splice, they got back into it with streaks, but LG, heavy slaying, they came in. The search and destroy that you're seeing, I will say, we were very critical of Splice's search and destroy on this map. I think they improved, they played it a lot smarter, but the very final thing, and this for me was just the nail in the coffin, 4v4. They've got the bomb planted at B.
Oh, I don't like
LG, LG double smoke, defuse.
No.
And they're 5-4 up. And the one thing as well was, Splice had all full control of blue. They did what T was saying before. They were saying, you know, back up, do what you need to do. And then this uplink, I will say for 5-6 minutes, they kept it close. But again, Luminosity Gaming, they step up the slaying side of things, and that is the last European team to exit. It's the last one we'll see, finishing 7th, 8th, I believe.
Okay.
But yeah,
It's a sad day for you. Sorry, man.
Maybe next year, Rob.
but I will be honest.
Too.
I was
I don't know. I forget. I forget you're European half the time.
Sorry.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. Moving forward, we'll take a look now at our brackets and how these recent results have affected them. Obviously, for Team Envious, they have booked themselves a guaranteed top 3 finish. We'll see them again in action in our winners bracket final tomorrow. The only question now awaits: who will join them? Will it be Up to Gaming or will it be FaZe Clan? Of course, that game is still to come and will be coming up next on the main stage. On the other side, of course, the losers bracket. I mean, LG United, Rise awaits the loser of Optic Gaming and FaZe. That means you already, in terms of our placements, 7th, 8th, we have Ghost Gaming and Splice. 5th, 6th, of course, the loser of United, LG, and the loser of Rise Nation, and obviously Optic or FaZe. I mean, it's shaping out to be quite a Cod Champs.
Yeah, I can't believe one of the United and LG's finishing 5th, 6th. They were both in my top 3.
Well, there goes your predictions.
Yep, there it is. I've lost that game.
And now I mean, you saw how crushed those guys V United are on that stage. Like, if you needed the leadership of Clay at any moment, like, it would be now. Like, those guys got to get up. They got to play against an LG team who looks very, very good right now. And you think you go into that series, let's say you lose that first hard point pretty bad if you're United. It's going to be mentally just difficult to come back.
And I think that's to Teep's point earlier on. You have to think about it logically. We beat these guys before. We were the ones that put them in the losers bracket. Let's send them home. Let's just do it again.
And I talked to Slack yesterday, just late last night. Everyone was in the hotel. And just kind of talking about today as a whole. There's so many matches you have to play, more than any other day throughout Cod Champs. It's like the goal for today, just get to Sunday. As long as you're there tomorrow, you have a chance. Just get to Sunday. And I think this is an LG team that's going to come in here with a lot of firepower, try and get out of this venue early, get back to the hotel and rest up, because they know if LG makes it tomorrow, nobody wants to play them.
Right.
Very, very true. Of course, we've already had one winners bracket semifinal done, and that was honestly one of the greatest series of the year that I can think of in terms of just actually talented, just
great
everything.
Gameplay.
It was
gameplay,
just
you can't beat it.
It just was. Now, up next, of course, another winners bracket semifinal. This one, a huge, huge rivalry in Call of Duty Esports. Optic Gaming taking on FaZe Clan. I mean, here's a look at our maps. Teep, we'll start with you.
Oof. This one's really tough. I really think this is Optic Gaming's time to shine. They seem the most polished. They're very confident in themselves. The third time might be the charm for them when it comes to this roster and champs. Looking at this particular map set, though, Breakout might be a little bit tough for Optic Gaming. Precinct uplink, I could really think of maybe giving that to FaZe as well. They've been quite strong on that one, going back to some of the Pro League situations. I could see a map 5 in this scenario as well. I'm going to give it to Optic Gaming. I think they do have that clutch factor and confidence overall. But man, these winter semis, they're unreal.
Obviously, Momo, we've been pretty critical of Optic Gaming's hard point. It hasn't been the best. Is that going to be the key to success?
This is their time. I feel it. I feel this is their time to shine. FaZe Clan have a very, very tough job here. I think this ends in 4 for Optic Gaming, but then again, I just said that from the previous 2 series. I've been terrible today on predictions, but I'm going Optic 3-1.
Yeah, and I believe I know the first map, Breakout, one of Optic's no weaker hard points.
Right, yeah.
It's one of FaZe's better, 75% win rate. It's also kind of odd. It almost seems like it's happened. They have not played since FaZe has Gunless on the roster. We have not seen these two teams match up since the trade. So
very true.
I think you're going to see, did that trade for Gunless pay off? This is where it needs to happen.
Very, very true indeed. Of course, as I said, coming off one of the best series of Call of Duty that I've seen in a long, long time. Team Envious has guaranteed themselves top 3 once again at the Call of Duty World Championships. We'll see them in action tomorrow. But up next on the main stage here at the Amway Center, Florida, it's Optic Gaming versus FaZe Clan in one of the biggest rivalries in Call of Duty.